Natalie again, and today I have a new music lesson for you where we will be looking at rhythm. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked at sheet music before, but it looks a little bit like this. Now, it may look a little unfamiliar to you, but sheet music is basically the language that all musicians know how to speak, and it tells them how they should be playing their instrument or singing their song. It works the same way as a book. Books use letters and numbers to help show the meaning of the words. But in music, we use sheet music to show which notes happen where, and it tells us how long we should be playing certain sounds. Now, a note can tell us a lot of things, but today we are going to be focusing just on rhythm. Rhythm is basically the pattern of sounds, and each note shows a certain length that a sound should be played. Now, not every song has the same rhythms for each note. We use what's called a time signature to tell us which type of note lasts for one beat and how many beats are in one measure. Today we are going to be focusing on the time signature 4/4. This is the most common time signature, and it tells us that the quarter note lasts for a beat, which is what the first 4 means, and the second 4 means that there are 4 beats in one measure. Now let's start looking into some notes. If we're talking about 4/4, the most basic note is called the quarter note. This means that this note lasts 1 beat. Another important note is the half note. The half note lasts for 2 beats. We also have what's called the whole note, which lasts for 4 beats. And finally, we have an eighth note, which lasts for half of a beat. Now, there are other notes than these, but these are definitely the most common, and we'll be using these in our practice today. Just an important reminder is that if 2 eighth notes are next to each other, they'll be combined and tied together like this. So if a song is written in 4/4, that means each measure might sound like this when you're talking about the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so forth. If you were to clap out the different notes, if we did a whole measure of just quarter notes, it would sound 1, 2, 3, 4. Because there are 4 quarter notes in one measure, and each equals 1 beat. If we were to do a measure that just had half notes, there would only be 2, because each half note equals 2 beats. So it sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. A whole note lasts for 4 beats, so there'd be only 1 whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, the eighth note equals half of a beat, so there will be 8 eighth notes in one measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, an important thing to know when we're clapping out beats is that when we hold our hands together, that means that one note is held. So if we're looking at a half note, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, with our hands held together, meaning that that note lasts for 2 beats. Now let's try some practices. I'm going to show you some pictures of different notes, and I want you to try to clap them out at home. Remember, it's really helpful to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because that helps you keep a steady beat, even if your claps don't happen on each beat. It's really like math. As a reminder, the quarter note equals 1, the half note equals 2, the whole note equals 4, and the eighth note equals 1/2. It may be a little bit tricky, but it does get easier with more practice and as you memorize what each note means. Let's try it. Great job, everybody! Now I'm going to try clapping, and you clap along with me. I'll start by getting our basic rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get it? Go back and try again. Great job, everybody! One trick when you have a lot of eighth notes is to use the word "and" in between your counted numbers. So you would count in like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try clapping along with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Awesome work! Let's try one more example. Nice job! Let's try clapping together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That one was a bit tricky with a bunch of those eighth notes together, but you guys did an awesome job. Here's another exercise we'll do. This one's called Rhythm Math. I will show you a few notes, and you have to try to add them up and see how many beats they equal. For example, if I showed you 2 quarter notes, a quarter note plus a quarter note equals 2 beats. Let's try it. Let's look at these answers. For number 1, the first note is a quarter note, so that equals 1. The second note is a whole note, so that equals 4. And the last note is another quarter note, so that equals 1. 1 plus 4 plus 1 equals 6. For number 2, you have 4 eighth notes next to each other, with each eighth note equaling 1/2. If you put 2 eighth notes together, that actually equals 1 beat. So this would be 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. For the last example, you have another combo of 2 eighth notes, which means that the 2 halves add up to 1. So it would be 1 plus 2 for the half note plus 4 for the whole note. 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. Good job, everybody! You all did such a wonderful job. Learning rhythms and beats can be really tricky, so it's definitely helpful to keep practicing at home. Maybe clap along with your favorite song and try to see where each beat is and how long the notes are held. You could even have a parent, a sibling, a caregiver, or a friend show you a few notes and you have to add them together, just like we did in this video. Thanks for joining me this week. Have a good one, everybody!